The sun was bright over the coast of Thailand on that December morning. People were enjoying the beautiful beaches. A black Labrador Retriever named Max played near the water. He was a happy dog, full of life and energy. His owner, a kind man named John, watched him with a smile. They lived in a small seaside village. Life was simple and peaceful. Max loved chasing sticks and swimming in the calm sea. He was a familiar and friendly sight to everyone in the village, always wagging his tail. He was a good dog, loyal and gentle, and very much a part of the community that lived by the beautiful, tranquil ocean. Suddenly the world changed in an instant. The sea pulled back in a strange and frightening way. It left the sand bare and exposed. Then, a giant wave, a terrible tsunami, rose from the horizon. It was a wall of water, powerful and unstoppable, racing towards the shore. People shouted and ran for their lives, but the wave was too fast and too strong. It crashed over the land with incredible force, destroying everything in its path. Houses were torn apart like paper, trees were ripped from the ground. The peaceful morning turned into a scene of chaos and destruction. John managed to find safety on higher ground, holding onto a sturdy tree as the water rushed past. He was terrified but safe for the moment. When the worst of the water finally retreated, he looked around at the devastation. His heart sank. The small village he loved was gone, replaced by a wasteland of broken wood, mud, and debris. He called out for Max, his voice filled with fear and worry. He searched everywhere, his eyes scanning the wreckage. For a long, painful moment he thought he had lost his best friend. The silence after the great noise of the wave was heavy and sad. But then, a familiar bark cut through the air. Max appeared from behind a pile of rubble. He was wet and muddy, but he was alive and unharmed. The dog ran to John, his tail wagging despite the destruction all around them. The reunion was a small moment of joy in a world of sorrow. Max licked John's hand, his eyes full of loyalty. It was clear that Max was not just thinking about himself. He seemed to understand that people were in trouble. He looked back at the wreckage, his ears alert and his body tense, ready to help in any way he could. Max did not wait for instructions. He seemed to know what he had to do. With a determined bark, he began to move through the dangerous debris. He carefully climbed over broken pieces of wood and twisted metal. His powerful nose was close to the ground, sniffing and searching. He was looking for signs of life. Rescue workers had not yet arrived, and the survivors were on their own. John watched in amazement as his dog transformed from a playful pet into a focused search and rescue animal. Max moved with a purpose that was both inspiring and deeply moving to witness. He would stop, listen, and then sniff the air. He ignored the small animals and focused only on the scent of people. Soon, he began to bark loudly at a large pile of rubble. It was what remained of a small guest house. He pawed at the broken boards and whined, refusing to leave the spot. John and some other survivors rushed over. They couldn't see or hear anyone, but they trusted the dog. Max was insistent. He kept barking and digging, letting them know that someone was trapped underneath. His persistence gave them a reason to start digging. They worked together, pulling away heavy pieces of wood and concrete. It was slow and difficult work. After some time they heard a faint cry from beneath the rubble. It was the sound of a child. Encouraged by the sound, they dug faster and with more determination. Max stayed right beside them, barking to guide them and offer encouragement. He was a small black dog against a huge backdrop of destruction, yet his courage was immense. He was a leader, showing the people where to focus their desperate efforts and giving them the hope they needed to continue. Finally, they cleared enough debris to see a small hand. It belonged to a young girl, no more than 8 years old. She was trapped, but alive. The rescuers carefully lifted her out. She was scared and hurt, but she was safe, thanks to Max. The girl's parents, who had been searching for her with desperate hearts, cried with relief. They hugged their daughter and then turned to the brave Labrador who had found her. Max had not just found a survivor, he had reunited a family. He simply wagged his tail, as if to say it was all in a day's work for a loyal friend. Max's incredible rescue of the young girl was just the beginning of his heroic day. He did not stop to rest. As soon as the girl was safe, he was off again, searching through the wreckage. He led John and the growing group of survivors to 2 more people who were trapped. Both were elderly and had been unable to call for help. Max found them by following their scent, alerting the rescuers with his persistent barking. His keen senses were far more effective than human eyes in the chaotic landscape. He was a small beacon of hope, tirelessly working to save lives in the aftermath of the disaster. Word of the brave dog began to spread among the survivors and the first responders who started to arrive. People were amazed by his intelligence and his courage. In a time of great loss and despair, the story of Max offered a glimmer of light. He became a symbol of resilience. While humans were overwhelmed by the scale of the tragedy, Max simply focused on the task at hand, finding those who needed help. His actions inspired people to keep going, to not give up hope. He showed everyone that even in the darkest of times, a hero can emerge from the most unexpected of places. The bond between Max and the people he helped was incredibly strong. He seemed to understand their pain and fear. He would gently nudge survivors with his nose, offering comfort. He stayed close to the rescue teams, working alongside them as an equal partner. His presence was a calming influence on everyone. Children who had lost everything would smile when they saw him. He reminded people of the simple goodness that still existed in the world, even when it felt like everything had been taken away. His loyalty was not just to his owner, but to all of humanity. Max's bravery was a powerful testament to the deep connection between dogs and people. He wasn't trained for rescue work, but his natural instincts and his love for people guided him. He showed that dogs are more than just pets. They are family members, protectors, and friends. In the face of unimaginable danger, Max acted with pure courage and compassion. He did not hesitate to put himself at risk to help others. His actions saved lives and, just as importantly, helped to heal the broken spirits of a community shattered by the tsunami. In the days and weeks that followed the tsunami, Max continued to be a source of comfort and inspiration. He became famous in Thailand and around the world. Newspapers and television stations told his story. People were touched by the tale of the heroic black Labrador who had saved so many lives. He received several awards for his bravery, including a special commendation from the Thai government. But for Max, the real reward was a pat on the head from John and the gratitude in the eyes of the people he had helped. He remained a humble hero. Max's story became a lasting symbol of hope and the unbreakable bond between humans and animals. It highlighted the incredible abilities of dogs and their capacity for loyalty and empathy. Many people were inspired by his actions to support animal rescue organizations and to recognize the important role that animals can play in our lives. He showed the world that a hero doesn't need to be a person. A hero can have 4 legs, a wet nose, and a heart full of love. His legacy is a reminder that compassion is a universal language. Years after the tragedy, people still remembered the story of Max. The young girl he saved grew up, always thankful for the dog who found her under the rubble. Her family never forgot the furry hero who gave them back their daughter. Max's actions left a permanent mark on the hearts of everyone who heard his story. He represented the best of what an animal can be: a loyal companion, a brave protector, and a tireless friend. His courage in the face of disaster brought people together and helped them believe in the possibility of miracles. Max eventually grew old and passed away, but his spirit lives on. His tale is a powerful reminder that in times of crisis, help can come from surprising places. It teaches us about the resilience of the spirit, both human and animal. Max the hero dog is more than just a story about a tsunami. It is a timeless story about love, loyalty, and the incredible things that can happen when a good dog and good people work together. He will forever be remembered as a true hero of the 2004 tsunami, a brave Labrador who answered the call for help.